for today, and I will be talking about communication, one of the areas where people dating or engage to each other, or even people who are married, suffer from. An area that causes lots of conflict, interpersonal conflicts. I want to thank you for involving me in a day like that. I want to thank you also for taking the time on a rainy day to drive and come here. It tells us about how committed you are in the relationship and how seriously you're taking it. You want to invest time to enhance it and improve it. Also, I want to thank you for putting up with weird accents in the so-called English language, and sometimes something in Arabic that should be funny, but if you don't understand the language, you will not be able to relate to it. So thank you for that, for people who are not originally Arabic speaking. When we come here also, my style is interactive and sometimes humorous. So there was a joke about a couple who were married. Which one? Communication in Christian family. So this couple, the communication, because of the problems that we'll explain this morning, the communication stopped at home. It was like a peaceful coexistence. It's like the Palestinians and the Jews. They hate each other, but there is no aggression or confrontation. We just avoid each other. So the husband had a seminar to attend, and he was living in Los Angeles, and he wanted to go to LAX to catch a flight. There's something wrong. The PowerPoint. So they were not talking to each other. The husband had to fly, so he's not talking to his wife. So they went to bed, and on his nightstand on one side of the bed, and the other nightstand on the other side of the bed towards the wife. So he went to the side of the wife, and he wrote a note. Please wake me up at 5:15 a.m. And he left it on the nightstand on her side. He went to bed, and suddenly he woke up. It is 8:30 a.m. The whole flight is gone. The day is destroyed. He was so angry and fuming, and he looked at his side of the nightstand. He found a note saying, "Dear, it is 5:15 a.m. Wake up." When you have technical difficulties, you have to fill up the time with something creative. What can you do? You know, you can't put some ads. You can't put, there's some communication here, which is a good example of Egyptian style of resolving conflict without punching each other, because you cannot do that inside the Coptic church. That's not very Christian. The other lady was married also, and she had many problems with her husband. They've been married for 35 years. So she, one morning, she approached him and she said, "Look, dear, we've been married 35 years. We keep fighting over the same thing over and over and over. We went to counseling. we went to Christian counseling, we went to secular counseling, we went to Abuna, and we are not improving. So, dear, last night I went to the prayer room. I said, Lord, I tried everything, and I think now the only solution is, please take one of us. And then she looked at the husband and said, after the Lord does this, I'm going to go and live with my sister. Communication. We're going to talk in communication about 8 main subheadings. 8 main subheadings. You want me to just to blah, 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 blah from my head? Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Till you know that's fixed today or tomorrow, maximum. Tell me, if you are from the Middle East or you are joining the Coptic Church, are you American born? Okay. Tell me from what you observe, self-criticism to us, 5 main characteristics for us in our communication style. They just stand out. You cannot miss them. If you see Egyptian people talking, either in any language, it doesn't matter, they have 5 characteristics. This is self-criticism. I'm not putting anybody down, including myself, but that's for us to learn, to improve on our communication. Yes?
Very loud.
Very loud. That's correct. And we don't know why. That is just the way we are, man. Okay, why? I don't know. Okay. Yes?
Not open to too many options, just the one way, and maybe a little stubborn.
A little bit stubborn. My way or what way? The highway. That's correct. Yes?
Know-it-alls.
Huh?
Know-it-alls.
Oh, what are you questioning it? Although the church teaches us, okay, the characteristics of the Lord, we call it divine attributes, okay? He is the one, only one, omniscient. Omni, meaning all, Ancient from science, he knows it all. Comma, and the Egyptians. I don't know what. Okay. Huh? Excellent, yes. Excessive body language, right? Why is that? I have no idea. You know, I was with my wife in Japan 6 months ago. I took my wife. No, but I brought her back with me. I didn't leave her there. No, don't you think I have problems? No. And we went to Japan, and when you see, today, I promise you, today or tomorrow, maximum. Thank you.
Solve the problem.
Oh, of course. We solved the problem. So, we're in Japan. Beautiful country, very advanced, bullet train, flowers everywhere. What you call it? Cherry blossom, one of the characteristics for photographers. But I was looking around the people, and of course, beside the respect and the body language, you look at the faces, you cannot read. Flat. You don't know if the person is angry at you, or happy, or content, or excited, or depressed, or gonna kill you, or gonna carry you on the neck. You don't know. You look at them. So I think this is just something cultural, bit different. It doesn't mean better or worse than anybody. What other characteristics? Yes? Dramatic. In which way? Dramatic. Exaggerations, right? I will never do that yet. All the people from this are blah, 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 right? Dramatic, that's right. When you add that to the body language, we are almost theatrical. Without us knowing it, it comes natural. I've never been an actor, I'm just a servant of the Lord. Yes, what other? Yes, Abuna.
We talk on the same time.
When I was in training in the field of counseling, the training was in San Francisco University for 4 years. 4 years to be board certified psychiatrist for the adults. The children and the adolescent came after that 2 more years. So the first year I was just fresh from Egypt, before some of you were born even. That was in the 80s. And at that time, the training style was the following. I will meet a client or a counselee. I have a cassette tape on the side with his or her permission. I record the session with my broken English. And after 50 minutes, that is the session, is 50 minutes, I go to my supervisor, the professor of the department, for receiving counseling, education, and some constructive criticism. For the first year, that's 12 months, that was my challenge. I take the cassette to supervision. He will ask me, why did you interrupt him? I don't know. You know, it comes with a passport. I get a passport. Okay. Following week, you know, the same client or a different client, she or he, coming for whatever, depression, marital problem, and she starts talking. What do? I go to the supervisor for counseling for myself. What is the question? Why did? Can you continue?
Did you interrupt them?
No, but slowly. Why did you interrupt him? Till it became ingrained in my mind to be a good listener, you have to train your mouth to be closed while the other person is talking. It is much easier said than done, but for us, because of our upbringing, we needed more than a regular person. So, if you need your relationship to prosper, if you need your dating to progress, if you are engaged and you're hoping to get married, and you want to stay happily married, this is an area that needs much of your attention. If you want to go home with anything from today's talks and jokes, I want you to go home with this statement. Interruption is the cancer of communication. This is why in some marital conflicts, you find that the communication, we want to talk today about the expenses at home because it had gone so high. It starts like that. The couples, sometimes engaged or married, end up slamming doors, fighting, punching each other, physical abuse, name calling. Your family is blank, blank, blank. You are blank, blank, blank. What happened? We call it escalation, from escalator. And the escalation happens if you have a recorded audio for it, you will find that. It was interruption from one side or mutual. It leads without you and me are being aware of it, to escalation. And when it escalates, I slam the door, I leave the house. So the 8 topics, now we are in good hands, technologically speaking, so we can proceed with the presentation. We were in good hands, technologically speaking. Should I put that towards what? The computer?
I think it's,
Okay. So number one area Remember, we're going to talk about 8 areas. Into how many hours you want to give me? 10 hours are not enough لأن في عشية النهارده في whisper. Thank you. Taming our tongue. Taming the tongue. That's from the Epistle of St. James. St. James has a chapter 3. When you go home, if you can read it in quietness and take every verse can be a topic for a lecture. But generally speaking, he said, the tongue is full of deadly poison, curse, anger, slander, gossip, and flattery. We don't have to have it full of deadly poison, but sometimes we do that being unaware of the importance of communication. Before you talk, you want to do what? Huh? Think, right? The Egyptians, they say think. No, but if you think, you can't communicate. Yeah. Before you talk, you want to think, right? And think is an acronym. For what you think? The T is for what? Before you talk. What I'm saying, is it T? Excellent. Is it true? Anybody has a battery here or something? I have another clicker. لو حد يساعدنا. Maybe it's faster or better. No, just this. Thank you. So, first one is what? Is it 2? Number H, is it what? Hard? Honest. Okay, it's coming. Is it hanging myself? I think that is the answer. No, is it helpful? Is it helpful, what I'm going to say? I might have an idea or an opinion, but is it helpful to say it? Not necessarily, and if it is not helpful, I don't have to say it. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, number I, is it inspiring? Number 2, is it necessary? K is what? Kind, thank you. Is it kind? And if we go home, if you read Matthew 12, a beautiful paragraph about saying something insulting. Saying somebody is in original language, a raka. Raka, يعني stupid. مش عايزين نقول what does it mean in Arabic? لأن in Arabic we have many synonyms for this. The tongue has 2 guards. God gave us 2 guards on the tongue. One is a soft guard, the other one is a hard guard. The lips and the teeth. As if the Lord is telling me, wait a minute. Before you open the 2 gates, think. Don't blabber stuff and then you feel bad afterwards. Okay, so number 2, women have a profound need for verbal attention. Have you ever questioned or thought about how 2 people, like in your phase of dating, engagement, love, infatuation, adoration, they date each other, or they get engaged to each other, and some, God forbid, some of these people end up in court with attorneys and suing each other and coming to church applying for divorce. What happens in between that very healthy relationship? People couldn't wait to get married to each other, and they end up enemies to each other. What do you think happened Not in every case, of course, but what happens in between?
Communication fails.
Communication fails. What does it mean in English?
Well, less compromise, less talking to each other. One person wants something, and that's how it's gonna go. There's more than one way to explain it.
Okay, less compromise. Can I repeat just for the recording? Is it good? Okay. Less compromise, less talking to each other, or talking to each other in an unhealthy way, as we will explore in few minutes. This is why it is better to start earlier, and if we have a conflict or a communication style that needs correction, to start, the earlier you start, the better. And the healthier is your relationship. When you leave things unattended to, it creeps into the relationship until it kills the foundation. Okay. So, women have a profound need for verbal attention. When I was newly married, I've been married now, happily married, for 35 years. The first 2 years, we can talk about that after the recording. But one day my wife had a problem with our girls who are now adult and married. And I came from work, I was tired, and she was telling me, "What happened today?" I said, "Oh, okay. I think next time when that happens, you should do blank blank." Why you laughing?
I know her reaction.
What's that?
I know her reaction.
Oh, tell me. I'm not gonna tell her you said that, but tell me her reaction. And it is not recorded even.
It's hard when you sit down with the kids the whole day and you're trying to manage everything with them, and then the husband comes home and, oh, you should have done this, this, and this, and you know afterwards that when something like this happened with him, he's gonna act the same way you did.
Do you think she got angry at me? She was angry at the kids. That's understandable. And okay, but did she get angry at me?
Yes.
Probably. Why?
Well, she just wanted you to listen.
Who said that? Thank you. You see, when you have somebody highly educated, ICU RN of communication, you know the answer. You know the answer. Yes. So after she got mad at me, I said, "Oh, what did I do wrong?" I said, "Okay, listen, I'm newlywed. I wasn't into counseling and Christian service. Okay, just tell me next time, honey, when you have a problem and you wanna unload on me, you wanna dump on me, right? What do you want me to do?" She said, "2 things. I'm telling you my lesson so you can apply, okay? At no charge for you today. 2 things. Number 1, listen and hold my hand." Oh, I said, "Okay, I will do that." That's easy. Of course, as a male species who are goal-oriented, we have differences. The male species and the female species, God created them different. But one of the differences is she wants to express herself. The verbal expression for a woman is very important, regardless of the content. For us, the male species, I was goal-oriented. Okay, I give solutions. I think next time, no, that's not what she wants. She wants my ears. This is why they are big, you see, from listening. Okay, so the verbal attention for women on a daily basis to maintain a sense of oneness. Women fall in love. No Arabic today, right? Okay, thank you. Look at the difference between fall in love and stay in love. Fall in love with men who set aside time to exchange conversation and affection with them. But they stay in love with men who continue to meet those needs. So when you were saying how some engaged couples in love end up in court, most probably one of the areas that was not maintained is this one. We are so busy, we're doing remodeling the house and we're gonna increase our income and we're gonna move and we're gonna buy a new car, a Tesla. Yeah, and it's expensive, as you know, so I need to work on the overtime and I wanna work Saturday and Sunday to afford the car. What will happen to the communication? If you wanna make your wife, future wife, depressed, don't talk. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a secret, advice, not in public, no. The need for women versus men for communication. Women, they need communication to feel good about themselves. If you do not talk to your fiancé, your girlfriend, your wife, she will have somebody to talk to, whether a girlfriend or Abuna قاعد هنا his presence, I will try to be polite. Or somebody else from the other species who is available at work and complimenting her for her beauty and her hair. Number 3, how many subjects we are going to talk about today?
8.
What did we talk about so far?
3.
I'm going home. We talked about 2, dear, not 3. And I don't, I'm not a mathematician. I'm a counselor. So when you tell me 2, the title is more important for me than the number 2. So if you tell me number 1, we talked about it, that will help you.
We talked about the tongue.
Huh?
Tongue.
Yeah, the importance of the tongue, taming the tongue. Thank you. Now, that was number 1. Number 2,
And the thinking.
the thinking was under the tongue.
Oh, never mind.
Hopefully the tongue will think also. We'll pray. Number 2 is what?
The importance of communication.
The importance of men versus women. Thank you. We joke around so we can wake up, because here, when you attend the liturgy, did we eat after the liturgy? Yeah. And in the Coptic church, what's your name? Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob, the Coptic church, when you finish the liturgy and you eat, you get tired and the blood is not going to the brain and people feel slow and down and the concentration is not very high. So my job is to keep you awake. So that's more challenging for me. Communication takes time. For women, it is an end in itself. Remember the story with my wife early on? The expression is important. The vocalization, the unloading, the dumping is important in itself. Don't cut it short, please. Some people say, we don't have anything to talk about. If that is the situation, I feel sorry for you. But to resolve it, look for mutual interests. It is okay for the husband to play soccer and the wife to do knitting. That's okay, that's normal. But if the husband's interest is completely different or opposite to the wife's interests, then we might have a problem. We have to have an area of overlap, of mutual interests. We like to watch a movie and talk about it. We like to read this book and exchange ideas. We like this hobby, playing music, attending whatever. Beside the other stuff, the other hobbies, the other interests. But some of the people say, I come home and it's like, how are you doing? How is it? Good. Okay, we eat dinner in silence. And the husband watches TV. The wife is cooking or cleaning the kitchen. And we'll go to bed. So if there is nothing to talk about, it is your responsibility to create mutual interest. And of course, the money versus marital happiness. How much money do you want and how much time you want to invest outside the family. And if you do too much of that, some other areas in your life will go down. This is just a rule.